Hello. Wow, it feels so good to be back here chatting with you as we do another travel journal this week. Tuesdays are just such a great day around here because we get to share a video with you, and I think that this one is going to be really special. So, like always, grab a cup of tea. I've got mine here, and let's get into this travel journal. Today, we're going to be going to how do you pronounce it? Cinque Terre. It's in Italy, and it's this crazy hike that we did where you walk through many towns in the region. There's 5 towns, but due to some issues with the trails, you can't walk from the whole thing. That's actually a map that showed the whole region. But wow, it just feels so nice to be back in my travel journal. This week has been a little bit crazy, so when Lou suggested that we film one of these, I was really happy, and we set up in this hilarious parking lot. I don't know if you saw before, but I was in this weird structure, and it was kind of perfect because it was raining on and off, and I was protected from the rain and from the wind. So it was the first time where all of my papers and things weren't blowing off my desk, which I really loved. And so to cheer myself up, I decided to do a lot of watercolors for this one. And because the hike was, right by the ocean, and here we go, off on our hike. Yeah, this is the first time I'm actually watching this footage. Lou put it all together, and I thought it would be fun to watch it with you. This was the beginning of the hike. It was just insanity. I couldn't wipe the smile off my face the entire day because it just felt so surreal. The sun was out and we hadn't had the best weather, and it just felt so special to be out here with Lou. I've never mentioned it before, but I actually had ACL surgery on my knee when I was in high school, and I ended up struggling a lot to recover and had knee problems for well over 5 years, to the point where there were years where I couldn't walk up the stairs and stuff without excruciating pain. So to be up here, I can't express how grateful that Lou and I both were to be sweating from hiking and not in pain and just taking in nature. And it really just felt like the best vacation day of the van. I don't know how to explain it, but there wasn't even that many people on the hike, and we had read that it was going to be so crazy. And oh yeah, this truck, the cars in Europe just make me so happy. They're so tiny. This truck is just crazy that this is what people use here, and it works fine, and it's so tiny and so modest, and the colors on them are all beautiful and faded. So I decided it would be nice to include that in the journal too. Oh, Lou.
Wow, that's so nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was so peaceful. And so I decided to take 3 stills from the footage and paint those. And so one was the scenic view from the top of one of the hiking points. And then I did the little truck thing as well. And then also one of the really pretty shots from later when we find one of the towns that are just bright colors and all of that. And I'm still pretty rusty on watercolor / a total noob. I don't really know exactly what I'm doing. So from what little research I've done, it seems layering watercolor is a thing. So I tried that, and that's why I had the 3 paintings I was working on, because I thought I could put down some color and then go over it and kind of build it up over time. And then I decided to use one of my ink pens to put in the windows, and I actually really like how that turned out. I think I'm gonna start doing that more, doing watercolor and then also drawing over it in black pen. I don't know, I just like how it looked, and it makes it pop a little bit more. And oh, this was a really nice moment. This was the first town we had gotten to, and we couldn't believe it. It's just sometimes when we're walking around, I just can't believe that these places exist. Europe is just so beautiful. It's really shocking. But yeah, and this obviously is one of the best parts of any watercolor, when you take the tape off and you get that little line. I just really like that. Sometimes like that part I was like, oh man, I should have put something there so I can experience every line. But yeah, it was just such a beautiful hike, and we decided to kind of play it by ear as we went. We didn't know exactly how the trails would turn out, which ones would be crowded, if we would like take the trains or the buses, or they even have boats between the different towns. But I did like a little research before to try to know what trails there were and what our options were, and we ended up choosing to do the Cinque Terre Day Pass, because this way it lets you go on this trail. I forget what this one was called. I think the whole thing is called like the Azure Trail or something, and this might be like
I can't believe we just ran into my childhood dear friend from Connecticut.
In Cinque Terre.
Yeah. She lives in Israel. Like, this is crazy. Wow.
That was so special. I literally like cried because it was just such a shock. We turned the corner and I saw Soph, and we both screamed, like actually screamed, and went full-blown American in that moment, like way too loud. And everyone was like looking at us like, what is going on? But it was insane. It's like literally I went to I was in elementary school with Soph, and I hadn't seen her for a really long time since we're both kind of like living far away from home. But yeah, Soph, if you're watching this, so good to see you. I hope things are going well. But yeah, so this is one of the most spectacular views, and why the hike is so special, because you just get all these different vantage points of like the ocean, but also these colorful towns. And when you walk in there, they're like even cuter than you could expect. There's like laundry hanging, and I just love it. It's really special, and the colors were so inspiring. Oh, that's the train schedule. I thought that would be a fun little memento. And Levanto is the name of the town that we actually parked in. If you are in a van and looking to go to this region, or even in general going to the region, I really loved staying in Levanto. It's right outside of the Cinque Terre area, but there's amazing little walks that you can go on. It's really cute, it's really calm, and we stayed at a really nice campsite. Aqua Dulce, I think was what it was called. And this little olive tree thing I got from, I think, a grocery store magazine that I picked up while we were there. I think this one was called Monte Rosso, but I'm not quite sure. But I decided to take some time to do some urban sketching while we were there. And while I don't think I included any of the urban sketches in the final travel journal pages, it's so fun to take some time while we're walking around a new place and just try to draw something, because it really helps me to like slow down and look at things and kind of create these mental images of a place, because you look at all the little details. And yeah, I just brought a ballpoint pen in my journal, and it was kind of cool. There was like some like way more advanced artists there, like selling their work. And one time he like walked over and he like gave me a thumbs up, and I was like, yeah, one day I'll be able to like make them actually look like what I'm looking at. But yeah, so this one turned out really well. I like that page, and this is now, we decided to just go for it, and we took the boat, even though the Cinque Terre Pass doesn't cover the boat. We thought it would be fun, so we took the boat. I don't really remember the names of the towns, but there was like, the last town I think is called like Rio Maja, something like that, and that's where we took the boat to. And it was really, really cool, and I really recommend if you get there to do it from the boat, because you get this like crazy angle that's only really available from the boat, or if you climb out onto these rocks. And I don't know, it's like the town is so narrow. See, like look at that. And I don't know if you can truly appreciate that from inside the town, but from the water, it is just spectacular. And we like waited for the next boat so we could get the spot that we wanted, so we could sit right on the front of the ferry boat, and it was really spectacular. The other thing that I wanted to say is like, so oh yeah, this was whiteout. I tried a new technique, but in this week, like, obviously has been a little bit tricky for us. I don't know if you followed like all of the drama that was on our channel, but one of the things that we did was that we watched the Brené Brown special on Netflix, because we were at a campsite and we had Wi-Fi. And guys, if you have not seen this, it is so incredible. It was so uplifting, and it really made me take some time for self-reflection and to challenge myself to really think about what vulnerability means to me and what vulnerability and courage mean for us in relation to this channel, and like what kind of person we want to be or what kind of people we want to be. And she is just hilarious. I feel like I was watching like a stand-up, but also like a TED Talk or something. So I was like learning, but smiling and crying and laughing. And yeah, it was really spectacular. So this was the quote that I included from it because it really meant a lot to me. And let me just read it to you. I want to be in the arena. I want to be brave with my life. When we make the choice to dare greatly, we sign up to get our asses kicked. We can choose courage or we can choose comfort, but we can't have both. Not at the same time. Brene Brown. And I just like that quote just, I feel like sums up how I feel a lot, because we aren't choosing the most comfortable life, like living in a van, like even trying to film these are like kind of difficult to find a place that works and the lighting and all this stuff. But it's like, it is so worth it to be out of our comfort zone and to be pushing ourselves and to be experiencing all these new things. And mainly I'm just so grateful for like having Lou with me here during this journey, because yeah, van life is so amazing and we see all these beautiful things, but then there are moments that are tougher, like in anyone's life, like something happens with your family, you're not there to be there to support them, you know, we're far away, or like different things like that. And in the end, it's like you just have to choose to be brave and to keep pursuing what makes us feel alive and not letting anything get in the way, and like being humble enough to realize when you need to take a look at things, and then also being brave enough to trust what you think is like right in your gut. And yeah, I feel like this spread really helped me. Like I finished making this and I felt so alive and in touch with my creativity, and I was like, like, I don't know, I just felt so much more like myself after taking some time to reflect on such a beautiful day. And I really like how it turned out, and the watercolors made me so happy. And so I hope that you enjoyed this little trip through Cinque Terre region in Italy. It was a really special day for us, and I'm so happy to have you here.